The LensGO 348C is a dual wireless microphone system with a number of hidden features. Stick around and I'll show you what they are, and I'll also tell you the good and the bad of owning one of these systems. Each of the components actually store nicely inside the LensGO charging case. It does not have an internal battery, but you're able to place all of the devices inside the charging case via these little gold terminals and connect them all together with this single USB-C connector on the side. So they charge nicely. And you can also, through the face of the case, you can actually see the charging status of each of the units. Having a closer look at the receiver, so we'll turn the power on the side here. There's a little power button on the side. Once the power's on, the blue indicator shows it's powered up, and the green light indicates that it's actually searching for a transmitter. On the face of the receiver, you'll see a little user interface that indicates not only the battery life, but also the status of the output. At the moment, it's got a little M there, which indicates that it's a mixed mode. So both left and right, or channels 1 and 2, are mixed together for a blended signal that runs to your mobile device or DSLR. You also have a signal strength of both of those transmitters, which is nice and handy. Down the bottom of this little interface, you can see that it has an indication of the left and right channels, how loud they are. If I just turn that up, you can see that it's coming up 3, 4, 5, 6. It actually has 6 steps that you can raise it, and it goes to 0 and then -1, 2 and 3, 4, 5, 6. It goes 6 steps the other way. So we'll plug that into our camera and we'll be able to see how that, in reality, what sort of level is coming out of this output on the receiver. On the transmitter, it comes already with a little windsock on it. It clips on very tightly, so it's not going to come off in the breeze. Quick walk around the transmitter. On the face, you've got an indication of the power, plus you've also got an indication of whether it's connected to the receiver okay. On the front here, you have a record button. You hold that button in for a couple of seconds, it'll start recording. Only if you've got the TF or micro SD card plugged into the side there. On the side also you've got a USB-C port which you can charge directly to each of the devices. On the top you've got your internal microphone, plus you also have a socket to actually plug in a lavalier microphone if you want to be a little bit more discreet with the transmitter. On the back of the transmitter you have these little gold terminals which connect to the internal charging case, and you have a clip on the back that pulls off. It's magnetic. Now straight away I see that the magnetism is not that strong, and it could easily come off your clothing if you gave it a little bit of a bump. But it does give you the ability to be able to add on this little stick-on clip. So if you've got a cage that doesn't necessarily have a hot shoe or cold shoe on it, you're able to then use this little self-adhesive tab and plug that in and pull your device off really easily. So anyway, that just gives you a quick walk around the LensGO transmitter. So the microphone comes with an instruction manual, comes with a case with all of the gear in it. You have a receiver, 2 transmitters, you have little fluffy windsocks for each of the transmitters. You have a charging cable that plugs into the case. You have a tip ring sleeve cable, also a tip ring sleeve cable for your mobile phone. If you don't have a standard 3.5mm jack on your mobile phone, you'll have to use a little adapter. So let's have a listen to see how these perform in the field, both distance and quality. I've got the receiver set up on my DSLR camera, and I've got the audio input set to high. I've noticed straight away that the output from the receiver is really not doing the camera any favours, because it really needs a fairly high input. But anyway, for now we'll check it out. The microphone at the moment has got a little fluffy windsock on top, so it should reject any wind noise that comes across the mic, so you might hear a little bit. I'll set the clip up on top of my shirt. There we go. And on the front of the microphone good little record button. So just as a backup recording, I'm going to press that button, hold it in for a few seconds, and it turns red, and then it starts flashing. It's about 10 meters away from the camera now. What do you think about the quality of the recording? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So that's about 70 meters. So that's 70 meters line of sight. I'll put the microphone on the other side of my body so you can see if it can get through there. So I'll go around behind this tree, just testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So now walking back toward the camera, and I'll go behind an obstacle, go behind the tree, see if you can still pick it up. That's behind the tree, and go a bit closer. Just testing. Watch I don't get run over on the road. Well, as you saw for yourself and heard, the distance test for the 348C is quite impressive. You know, you get more than 70 meters. And also I noticed even when I went behind some obstacles, it was still good quality. There was no dropouts. I think there was only one particular dropout just as I was going out toward the tree that it had a problem. So that's, in my books, that's pretty good, because most times you're not going to be that far away from the camera anyway. The build quality of the 348C is quite good. There are a couple of things though that really do need improvement. For example, the little clip on the back is quite weak. It's a magnetic clip, which is handy in a couple of ways, but even when you're trying to place it on yourself, you have to take the clip off, put the clip on, and then snap the device to it. One thing LensGO may consider in the future is maybe a hexagonal connection on the back. Even if you want to stick with the magnetic connection, just so it doesn't rotate round all the time. So that's another little thing. The receiver output is quite low compared to others that are on the market. And yet, even though the receiver's output to the camera is low, it has a very low noise floor. So in post-production, you can lift that up and you really don't have a lot of background noise. So in a sense, it's not so bad, but it would have been nice for LensGO to have a little bit higher output on that receiver. I like the way you're able to switch the internal recorder on the transmitter on and off at ease, so you have total control over that and you're not just relying on being able to turn the mic on, turn the mic off. So you have a separate control over that. It's very visual. There's a nice red indicator there to indicate that it's switched on. I checked the WAV files that came off the recorder and they were very clean. So yeah, as a backup recorder, it works really well. As far as the price is concerned, $245 US, you are really paying for the recording feature because there's other wireless microphones on the market that do a similar job, similar distance, similar quality audio, but they don't have that record feature and they are cheaper. So my take on the LensGO 348C is that if you're not looking for a recording feature on the transmitters as a backup, then you may need to look elsewhere. But as a package, the LensGO 348C is good value considering all those features that you have. And especially you're getting good distance from the transmitter and receiver, and even when there were obstacles in the way, it still seemed to be fine with that as well. If you've got any comments or questions, make sure you type those in the comments section. I really like reading them and I try and get back as soon as I can. Until next time, I'll catch you later.